You're planning to join a part-time course and have come to know about an organization that can sponsor your studies. Write a letter to the head of the organization mentioning your educational background, how the organization can help you do this course, and finally, what is the benefit of doing this course? Begin your letter with "to whom it may concern." Okay, let's read the question one more time, this time going over the meaning. You are planning to join a part-time course and have come to know about an organization that can sponsor your studies. So here it's just saying that there is a company out there that would be willing to pay for a student interested in taking this part-time course. Now, our task is to write a letter to the head of the organization, and we're sort of submitting a profile of ourselves in hopes to have this organization sponsor us as the student in this course. Now, we have to include 3 pieces of information: our educational background, we have to include how this organization can help us. That's kind of easy. We can just mention that, you know, what we're looking for is for them to cover the charges of the course. And finally, what is the benefit of doing this course? Now, questions like this are a little bit open, and they allow you to be kind of creative in your response. And the students that I teach here in Shanghai, I often suggest that they you know, kind of direct their response and kind of create a little bit more flesh to it, a little bit more meat. So what I mean is that in our response we might want to mention the name of the course, or the name of the school, or perhaps what the topic is regarding this course. You know, just kind of create some story to make this letter a little more believable. So perhaps we can just write, you know, that we're a university student, and that we're studying something perhaps like languages, and that this part-time course could really help us do better in our university studies, and therefore taking this course would be very beneficial to us. And then perhaps we can, you know, paint a little picture about how we are funding our university studies. So I think in this response, I'm going to write a little bit about, you know, that my entire university career has been funded primarily just by myself, that I have been working and funding, you know, everything myself, and that this is why I would really appreciate this organization helping me to pay for this part-time course, which in turn will also help me to do better in my university studies. Okay, and I think that in describing this sort of situation, we will cover these 3 areas. We can talk a little bit about our educational background, so we can just mention perhaps that we've studied you know, languages at a university level for a couple of years. We can mention how you know, we're working hard outside of university to save up some money to help pay for our education, and that if this organization can help us, this would, be very beneficial to us, just based on our situation. And then finally, we can mention that taking the course itself will help us to perform better in our university work. So I think that creating this small story will cover all three of these areas. Okay, now we should probably go over the different sections of a letter quickly before we begin. So the general task 1 question will often present you with the sort of greeting at the beginning. Normally it says, I think it's dear sir or dear madam. Today we have to whom it may concern. So that the question kind of gets you started, and then from there you have to write the letter yourself. Now we do have the restriction of 150 words that we're going to have to stick to as well. And to do this properly, I suggest that students break down their response into 3 basic paragraphs. So the first being, let's turn off bold here. The first being sort of a statement of what the purpose is of the letter. So purpose of the letter. That's your first paragraph. This paragraph can be very short, even just 1 sentence long. And you're just basically stating why you are writing this letter. So this is it answers the question why. Why are we writing the letter to this company? Now the next paragraph is going to be a description kind of the situation. So in today's letter, our situation is just basically that we are university students, and perhaps we don't have a ton of money, and we really want to take this course. So that's sort of the description of our situation, and this kind of connects to the reason why we are writing to this company. The third paragraph is just a basic statement of what you want. So, of course, in today's letter, we're going to state clearly that we want them to sponsor us and to help us fund this part-time course. And then after this, we're just going to have sort of a sign off, and then write her name. That's kind of the easy part. But the basic letter itself will be structured in this manner, and this structure will work for, I think, pretty much every task 1 question you can receive. So, for example, if you were writing a letter that's complaining about something, then the first paragraph would state why, what's the problem, what's going on. Then you talk about the situation in detail. I mean, why are what are the details of your complaint, and then finally, what do you want in return? So how could the person receiving your letter rectify the situation? So today we're just writing to ask for sponsorship of a part-time course. So let's get started. Now we're supposed to start with to whom it may concern. So I'll just use this one here. Let me take the bold away. Okay, now our purpose of the letter, why. Here is our first paragraph. So let me get rid of that and let's write it together. So now we have to make it nice and clear. I am writing to you as I have heard your organization provides scholarship to students with, now we want to say that we're kind of ambitious, that we want to go out and take this course. So I'm going to write here aspirations. So we have aspirations of studying I'm just going to create the story here, studying languages. Now, make up a name of a school, YOW, Language Academy. Okay, so that is our statement of purpose. Why are we writing this letter? I am writing to you as I have heard your organization provides scholarship to students with aspirations of studying languages with YOW, I'll stick in here, the YOW Language Academy. Okay, is the YOW Language Academy a real school? No, of course not, but I'm just kind of creating the scene for this letter and to make it a little bit more believable. Now let's go to our second paragraph. So here we're talking about the situation, and remember that we have to mention as part of our task some of our educational background. So let's do that here too. Maybe we can create our profile in this part. So let's start with something like, please let me take a second to provide you with maybe a bit about myself and my background. Okay, so and we were saying before, maybe this is a university student. So I hold a university degree with a major in, and I'm just going to stick in here, Eastern languages. Now, maybe we just expand this and say that they are also studying a master's at the moment. So I hold a university degree with a major in Eastern languages and am currently working on my master's master's degree in the same field. Okay. Now maybe we can make a statement here about how we have paid for our education thus far. So so how about we stick in something like, to date, I have funded my entire education by working, we'll say, night shifts and weekends as a waiter in a local diner. Now we can, we're just painting the picture here that, that maybe we are a good candidate for this company to sponsor, as we're ambitious, we're studying at a university level, and maybe we don't, come from money. So this, we might be a good person for them to sponsor. We could make the most of their scholarship. Okay, now we can mention a little bit about how we heard about this course and about the company that can sponsor. So let's say the moment I became aware what do we call the company? YOW YOW Language Academy. The moment I became aware of the YOW Language Academy and their upcoming course, I felt enthusiastic, as I feel this part-time course could really help me excel, could help me get ahead. So if we take this part-time course, it's going to help us do better in our university studies. So in my studies, and then let's mention that this is going to be significantly helpful to our master's degree. So help me excel in my studies and complete my master's degree with considerably deeper understanding of my discipline. Okay, now I'll just review that paragraph one more time so we can understand it completely. Okay, now here we have, please let me take a second to provide you with a bit about myself and my background. I hold a university degree with a major in Eastern languages and am currently working on my master's degree in the same field. Okay. To date, I have funded my entire education by working night shifts and weekends as a waiter in a local diner. Okay. The moment I became aware of the YOW Language Academy and their upcoming course, I felt enthusiastic as I might want to change that, as in my opinion, this part-time course could really help me excel in my studies and complete my master's degree with considerably deeper understanding of my discipline. And discipline is kind of a fancy word of saying a person's area of study. So this student, the student writing this letter, thinks that they will understand their area of languages much more thoroughly if they complete this part-time course. Okay, so here what have we done? We have given a bit of background about the students, and we've shown how this course will help them. They're not, the richest of students, perhaps. They're funding their education themselves. Now, let's go to our final paragraph and state clearly what it is that we want. I believe I should be deleting these sort of headings as we go along. So we're finished this description of situation. Okay, now we're on to what you want. Last paragraph. So we want to state it very clearly. There should be no sort of poetic, phrases. It should be as clear as day what we are asking this person for. So my intention in writing this letter is to ask that you consider recognizing a hard-working individual who could really make the most of your generous grant. Okay, read that last one more time. My intention in writing this letter is to ask that you consider recognizing a hard-working individual who could really make the most of your generous grant. Okay, very easy. So that's the entire letter. We gave a very brief introduction stating why we're writing this letter. We described our situation, and we dressed up the situation a little bit. We talk about a school that's not listed in our task 1 question, the YOW Academy, and we talked a little bit about our background. That we're studying a master's program, and this program is in languages, I mean, you know, none of this is true, and your examiner will know that you're kind of making the whole letter a bit more believable by adding some of these facts. And sometimes it's easy, if you wanted to, you could apply this to your own life. So perhaps if you were studying some specific area of medicine, it might be easy for you to write this letter perhaps as if it was a real situation for yourself. Okay, let's sign off now. Our goodbye. A lot of students, they like to write sincerely or regards, or some kind of typical closing, and that's fine. Sometimes it's nice though if we can write a more personalized goodbye. So here we're kind of asking this company to sponsor us, and when we hear back from them, we want to hear something positive. So let's finish off by saying something like, hoping to receive your supportive reply. Okay, and that's it. Hoping to receive your supportive reply, comma, and then just sign off like that. So, should we read it from the beginning? Let's go back up to our question. Okay, the question reads, you are planning to join a part-time course and have come to know about an organization that can sponsor your studies. Write a letter to the head of the organization mentioning your educational background, how the organization can help you do this course, what is the benefit of doing this course. Begin your letter with, to whom it may concern. So here we go. To whom it may concern, I am writing to you as I have heard your organization provides scholarship to students with aspirations of studying languages with the YOW Language Academy. Please let me take a second to provide you with a bit about myself and my background. I hold a university degree with a major in Eastern languages and am currently working on my master's degree in the same field. To date, I have funded my entire education by working night shifts and weekends as a waiter in a local diner. The moment I became aware of the YOW Language Academy and their upcoming course, I felt enthusiastic, as, in my opinion, this part-time course could really help me excel in my studies and complete my master's degree with considerably deeper understanding of my discipline. My intention in writing this letter is to ask that you consider recognizing a hard-working individual who could really make the most of your generous grant. Hoping to receive your supportive reply, Ryan. Okay, now let's do a quick word count and see that we are in the right area. I believe that you'll find this structure normally puts you right around 150 words. We have 166, which is perfect. That's not too many, and it's not below 150, so we're right in the right area. Okay, I hope you found that video helpful. Thank you for watching.